Hello there and welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. My name is Salva and today I will be doing a book tag. I haven't done a book tag in quite a while. I saw this one on Thoughts on Tomes, so I'm going to leave a link down below to her channel. It's really fun and it was created by Sarah Jane of the Book Life and it is the Mean Girls book tag. The book tag is made up of several classic Mean Girls quotes, and each quote relates to a category and you have to choose a book that goes into that category, and that's how book tags work. So let's get started. I decided, in the spirit of Mean Girls, to wear pink today. I only have this one shirt. That's it. That's all the pink I got. This is a rare moment for me to be seen in pink. Just wanted to throw that out there. The first quote is, "It's pronounced like Cady." So you have to choose a character's name that you got completely wrong when it came to pronouncing it. And I chose Genya Safin, I think that's her last name, from Leigh Bardugo's Shadow and Bone series. I pronounced it like Genya, so I was like, Genya this, Genya that. And then when she gave her talk and had the Q&A session, she referred to her as Genya. And then I was like, oh, I didn't know that. Now I know. Next quote is, "She doesn't even go here." And you have to choose a fictional character who you would like to put into another book. And I just thought it'd be really cool if June and Day from Marie Lu's Legend trilogy were part of the Six of Crows. Because these two kids are geniuses. I would like to see them go up against Kaz Brekker in Six of Crows. And then they're just gonna be like a group of really smart kids and they could take over the world, for all we know. Next quote is, "On Wednesdays we wear pink." And you have to choose a book that gave you deja vu of another book. And I chose The Jewel. And the beginning reminded me a lot of the beginning of the Hunger Games and a bit of the Chemical Garden trilogy by Lauren DeStefano. I think it was just something about the vibe, you know, and her family was also like from the poor district like Katniss, and then with the whole breeding subplot was definitely like Wither, but it has its own story. Not saying it's a ripoff, it's actually a really good series. I like it, but there were times when I was like, this could be the Hunger Games, this could be District 12. It really could. Quote 4 is, "You have all got to stop calling each other sluts and whores. It just makes it okay for guys to call you sluts and whores." And you have to choose a book that made you feel the opposite of girl power. And I chose Twilight. Even for fans of the book, you gotta admit she's not the most girl powery heroine out there. Not only is she anti-girl power, but I also felt she was anti-human. Like, I remember getting really mad when she didn't even care about her high school graduation, and all she cared about, she was like, high school graduation isn't important, and like, I just want to be a vampire. At the time I was thinking, well, for us humans, high school graduation's pretty important, so I'm sorry if we can't all be vampires, Bella. She just made me feel really bad about myself, not just as a girl, but as a human. Next one is "You Go Glen Coco." For you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco. And you choose a character who you really wanted to cheer on while reading the book, and I chose Chubbs from Alexandra Beckon's The Darkest Minds. Chubbs is a guy who is not fit for a dystopian world, who was put in a dystopian world, and reminds me a lot of myself. Like, he's not really athletic, he's not used to roughing it, and yet he's in that world and somehow he manages to survive. And I really loved him. I could relate to him so much, and particularly towards the end. It's a spoiler, so I'm not going to mention what he did, but I gotta say I was cheering for him the whole time. Next quote is, "Get in, loser, we're going shopping." You have to say how much time you spend at the bookstore. I confess I spend quite a while in the bookstore. Very rarely do I go and say I'm gonna take 10 minutes and I'll only ever take 10 minutes. It just doesn't work like that with me. I've been known to while away my time at the bookstore. So my answer would be undetermined, but definitely not 10 minutes. Next up is, "I Can't Help It" if you're like in love with me or something. And you have to choose a character that you would get a restraining order from. And the series I chose was a bit of a throwback. I haven't thought about this series in quite a while actually, but it would have to be Keenan from Melissa Mars' Wicked Lovely. Keenan is the fairy king and he is looking for his bride, and he's been looking for his bride for 900 years, and so he goes after our heroine, Ashlyn. He's like, no, you must be my bride and I will make you my bride, and you're just like, ugh. Are you the sun? Why? Is it 'cause I'm so hot? No, it's 'cause you have to stay about 1 billion miles away from me, Keenan. Corny jokes everywhere. Next quote is, I can't help it if I'm popular. And you have to choose an overhyped book that you were really afraid of reading, or you were really cautious about reading. And I chose the City of Bones series by Cassandra Clare. Okay, confession time, but when I was in 7th grade, sophomore year of high school, I was in this complete anti-Twilight phase. I was just really mad that it was taking away the spotlight from Harry Potter. My feelings have since mellowed out. Anyway, back to City of Bones. I didn't want to read this for the longest time because the big fat blurb in the middle, right in the middle of Jace's chest, was by Stephanie Meyer, author of Twilight. So I was like, I'm not gonna read anything you blurb, Stephanie. I was a very contradictory child. I didn't want to read Twilight because that's what all the cool kids were reading. Next quote is, she's a life ruiner. She ruins people's lives. And you have to pick a villain that you love to hate. And I chose Dolores Umbridge from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I remember reading this for the first time and I just wanted to get to the parts with her because I just wanted to, she was one of those characters that you just wanted to see what kind of crazy things would come out of her mouth, and it would just be so irritating that you're like, I hate her. This is so entertaining. Next quote is, I'm not a regular mom, I'm a cool mom. And this is a quote I always attribute to my mom, or I always use with my mom because she really is a cool mom. I have this secret theory that all my friends actually like her more than they like me, and they only hang out with me to get to her. But anyway, you have to choose your favorite fictional parents, and I'm sorry to bring up another Harry Potter reference, but James and Lily Potter, ladies and gentlemen, you will not find a better set of parents. You just won't. Next quote is, that is so fetch, and you have to choose a series that you wish would catch on. Unlike the movie, this fetch I hope will happen, and I feel like more people should read this. Yes, that is right, because a Cuckoo for Books video would not be complete without me plugging Tamora Pierce. That's right, Tamora Pierce, because what else is new? If there was a series that I want you guys all to read, it would be Tamora Pierce's books, just like all of them. Just read all of them. Make it a summer project. Read all 20+ books. It is worth it. Look how thin the books are. 20 books aren't even 20 books. Like, they're not 20 Harry Potters. They're 20 little ones. Please make this fetch happen, guys. We need to make this fetch happen. Next quote is, how do I even begin to describe Regina George? I'm just gonna go ahead and describe my ideal character to read about. Someone who's sassy, but not too sassy. Not someone who knows she's sassy. Someone who puts bros before hoes. That's always important. Someone who's a princess. Not because I judge against people who aren't princesses, but it's always fun to read about gowns and tiaras. Next quote is, nice wig, Janice. What's it made of? Your mom's chest hair! And you have to choose a character whose comebacks you wish you could have in real life. And I chose Selena Sardothians from Sarah J. Maas's Throne of Glass. She has the best comebacks ever. There's one quote I remember from Queen of Shadows where, this isn't a spoilery quote, she kicks someone's ass, as she does throughout the series, and he's like, where do I go? Where do I go? What do I do now? And she's like, I heard hell is particularly nice at this time of year. You're just like, last quote is, boo you whore, and you have to choose a character who made you roll your eyes when they did something. There's one part in China Rich Girlfriend by Kevin Kwan recently that really made me groan and roll my eyes, and I was like, really? That's not the smartest thing to do, but whatevs. It was when Astrid like throughout the book, had this email exchange with her ex-boyfriend all the while she was married, and you could clearly tell from the emails that he was still desperately in love with her, and she kept like doing all these things, and I was like, playing with fire there, aren't you, Sparky? That's never gonna lead somewhere good. And that is it for my Mean Girls book tag. This was a really fun tag to do. I want to tag Tomebound of Kevin, JM of Book Freak Revelations, Vea from Confessions of a Pinay Bookaholic, Hazel of Stay Bookish, Faye, Bibliophile Soprano on Twitter, Kai from Amaterasu Reads, Lyra of Defiantly Deviant, Kate of the Bookaholic Blurbs, everyone. I just want to tag everyone. If you guys have any more ideas for book tags, please leave them in the comments down below. If you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both at Cuckoo for Books, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys!